Welcome back. You're still on to the POLITY, and we apologize for that unforeseen technical glitch. We continue on with security, as no fewer than 6 persons have been reported killed, with more than 100 persons also abducted as suspected gunmen attacked a community in Sokoto State in the early hours of Sunday. The police in Sokoto, through their spokesman, Ahmed Rufai, confirmed the killing of over 6 persons and abduction of scores of residents at Tudundoki, Wadaba local government area of Sokoto State. Rufai said, though information about the attack was still sketchy, 6 people were confirmed killed. According to him, the divisional police officer attached to Gwadabawa led a team of policemen to the community to assess the situation and restore normalcy. According to villagers, the assailants, numbering about 7, attacked the community around 1:30 a.m. armed with sophisticated firearms. They shot at anybody on sight and abducted many members of the community. Gwadabawa, one of the local governments in the Eastern Senatorial District of Sokoto State, had been peaceful until the Sunday morning attack. That's our news roundup. We'll take a short break. When we return, we'll move into the conversation. You're welcome back. This is the POLITY. My name is Maucauley Hunohashion, and with me in the studio is still Henry Umoru, a journalist that has been in the trenches covering politics, who is also assistant editor politics. Henry, let's begin. There is an appraisal of Tinubu's administration in the last 1 year, and many people have praised a component of that ministry, of that administration, which is the legislature. Before I ask you to appraise their 1 year journey in oversighting and enactment of laws. Tell me about the relationship between National Assembly and executives. How far so far?
Yeah, thank you, Maucauley. When you say relationship, it's double-edged. Depends on what kind of relationship you want. But I should know the executive arm is an arm. When you look at SOP, separation of powers, you have the legislative arm, you have the judiciary. Yes, you have asked about the relationship. Yes, they have been, I can say, almost on the same page, the executive and the legislature, because we've not heard hula baloo, we have not heard them quarrel, fight. The present leadership of the Senate, headed by Senator Godswin Akpabio, has been in good working relationship with the executive. At least what you expect, what executive expects from them, they've been getting it. First was the appropriation bill, which was sent to them. They passed it, even though it was, we can say, in a hurry form, because we were the MTF and others, they were not judiciously addressed. But at least they passed the appropriation bill, and it was accepted too, because they want to meet up with the new budget cycle of January to December to January.
That's right.
So I see it as they are much in a hurry, because there is no much of scrutiny of the documents sent from the ministries, from the MDAs, because they want to meet up. So as you have said, the relationship, as you have asked me, the relationship has been okay. If you look at the screening of ministers, which they brought to them, they screened them, except some that were removed, like somebody like Malam Nasir Rufai from Kaduna State, due to one reason or the other. Then other supplementary bills, requests for loans, they have been passing them. The most recent one was the one that was done in 1 day, especially House of Reps, with that the executive bill from Mr. President asking that we move to the old national anthem from Arise O Compatriot to Nigeria We Hail Thee. It was that same day as first reading, went through second reading, and it was read the third time and passed in the House of Reps. The Senate did some hours, or let me say a day, a public hearing on the bill in order to meet up with what is supposed to be. Because before a bill is passed, to be accepted to, it must go through, must first be read, it must go through second reading, where we will hear the lead debate on the general principles of the bill. Then from there, it will be referred to the appropriate committee, where the committee will now say, okay, organize a public hearing. So, as you see, the relationship, I've not seen any rancor.
Now, there's no rancor for me. I respond. There seems to be a rosy relationship.
Yes, almost on the same.
What would you say is the reason for that?
One, if you look at it, it's one party.
Okay.
It's like they inherited this from the past, the 9th Senate, where Ahmed Lawan's leadership was almost on the same page with the presidency. So now they are in the same party. That is what is happening in our democracy, because even when you are there, like the PDP, there are some bills, there are some actions that the PDP may say no, but the majority will have their say there, because the majority is the APC, yes, All Progressive Congress, yeah, and they will not want to have any rancor with the executive. So that is the reason. One of the major reasons is because it's the same party, and they are leading in the chamber.
Now, let's talk about the Senate specifically. There are 13 ex-governors that have made it to the Senate. And, Nigerians have this feeling, a school of thought believe that governors are making the Senate their retirement home, sort of retirement home. What's your reaction to that? Is it true?
First and foremost, as a former governor, you have the right to contest.
Yes.
There is no provision that says because you are a former governor, you cannot contest. When you contest, how much contribution will you make is what we want in the Senate. You have to look at the job you are supposed to do, oversight. How much are you doing it? How much of lawmaking? How much, another function is that of appropriation. So how much are the people hearing from you? Especially in terms of robust motions, robust debates, because motions, it could be of importance to your community. Yeah. Maybe my own senator now, who is representing me, Senator Odams, he may decide to say, okay, the road from Abuja to Auchi to Benin, it could be a form of a motion.
Has he done that?
Yes, they have done that. Okay. I think he came up with a motion as soon as he came into the Senate. So what we are trying to say is a former governor can contest just like any other person in Nigeria. But the only thing we have to look at is how much contribution are they making. So when they say they are making it as their retirement place, too, you can decide to make your house your retirement place, and how much of sleeping you are doing in your house. The only area we will now bring them to their own toes is when they are not performing. When you come to the Senate and you think that it is for you to come and retire, and you are not coming up with motions, you are not coming up with bills. Some of them are new, relatively new, so maybe they are still learning the rope of how to come up with a bill on what is the difference between a motion and a point of order. Maybe they are still learning. So let's watch and see.
One of their major duty is oversighting.
Yes.
How much of oversighting would you say the Senate has done and the House of Reps in the last 1 year?
Yes, for Reps, I cannot really say because I cover the Senate.
Okay.
Yes, the Senate came in July 13th, 2023. They were just 1 year last Thursday on 13th. When they resumed, they used most of the time to screen the ministers, the ambassadors and other commissioners, board members, and others. For this year, they have not done much of oversight.
Okay.
They have not really come out and say, okay, they are going for oversight. That is where we are saying that before that was why I said the budget was already was passed in a hurry.
Yeah.
You see, for you to say, okay, you want to pass the budget of 2024 as a senator, we have to look at the performance of 2023 budget. Did they go for oversight to check whether the projects have not been done? That is why we have abandonment. Because we hear of cases of, so if the Senate, let's wait. These ones are just one, they have not really carried out oversight.
In terms of still talking about oversight, what's that line of divide between the House of Reps and the Senate?
There is no really line of divide. We are operating a bicameral legislation.
Yes, that's right.
Where you have the House of Reps and the Senate. Okay, when you say divide, there are functions that the Senate will carry out and the House of Reps will not do.
Yes.
Like screening of ministers, ambassadors, ambassadorial nominees. When it comes to that, it is the Senate that does that. When it comes to ministers, it is the Senate that does that. When it comes to chairman and board of commissions, it is the Senate that does that. But where they come together is the area of bill, where they have to do their own, they do their, especially when it comes to appropriation bill or executive bill. Executive bill is from the president. When executive bill comes, as they are reading one in the Senate, in the House, they are reading in the Senate. Then they come together. They do their own, they do this. Then if it comes to maybe there is disagreement, they will now have a committee on concurrence where there will be members from the House, members from the Senate to agree to have a harmonized bill to be sent to the president for assent. So there is no... Okay,
talking about bill now, I was made to understand, reports have gone around that 24 senators have not sponsored any bill. All in all, how many bills have they passed in the last 1 year?
Yes. As I said, the Senate was inaugurated on 13th of July, 2023. And they were 1 year last Thursday. As at 13th of June, that they became 1 year, 25 bills have been passed. That is, they are now legislation. It depends on whether they will be accepted to. So 25 have so far been passed.
They have done their job.
Yes, they have been passed. Then in terms of bills as well, 13 were from the executive, including appropriation bill, including supplementary bill. All these are from the executive. And they're always being read through the Senate Majority Leader. And the present Senate Majority Leader is Senator Okpeyemi Bamidele from APC, and is from Ekiti Central. Okay,
is that why he has the highest?
Yes, that is why he has the highest, because all the bills executive bills are from him. Yeah. Then the one for House, the executive bills are read through the Majority Leader, and presently the Majority Leader is from Edo North, from Onwa, Professor Julius Ihovere.
He's also an APC.
Yes. No, Majority Leader must come from the ruling party. Yes. That is why there are 4 positions as principal officers. Majority Whip, Majority Leader, Deputy Majority Leader, Majority Whip, Deputy Majority Whip, Minority Leader, Deputy Minority Leader, Minority Whip, Deputy Minority Whip.
Okay.
So the opposition parties present minority leaders. So as at today, 13 are from executive bills, which represents 2.7.3% of the bills so far. Then we have 64, which are private. We have 464, which are private bills, and that represents 97.27%. That is for this year from the Senate. As I told you, I cover Senate. I'm looking at Senate. Then 100 out of these bills that have been proposed, that have been sponsored, 135 are waiting first reading.
Okay.
135 are waiting first reading. Then why 45 are waiting second reading. Then 43 are the committee stage. Then 3 bills were refused so far in 1 year.
Okay. What do you think inform those that have not been able to sponsor bills? What would you think must be their impediments?
You see, one, you have to look at how good that bill is, how that bill will be useful to your people and to the government of Nigeria. You know, as a senator, once you enter the chamber, the Halo chamber, you are now the senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So your bill must reflect the feelings of Nigerians. Your bill must improve on the lives and well-being of Nigerians. Though you may decide to bring up a bill that will be okay for your senatorial district. Like my senator now can decide and say, okay, let me come up with a bill that we put a good school of mining in my local government, Akoko Edo local government. Adams Oshomole can decide to do that. You understand?
But he has not sponsored a bill.
Maybe he's working on one.
Okay.
I cannot read his mind. Maybe he's working on one, and maybe he's working on one, and maybe the first one will be that will reflect Akoko Edo local government. So it's working.
We wish him the best. We're still talking on bills. Would you say, from what you have observed, as someone who has covered the National Assembly for a long time, have they lived up to expectation of Nigerians in the last 1 year in terms of sponsoring bills, quality bills?
No. If you look at it now, when you look at how many bills that have been proposed this year, only 25 have been passed.
Okay.
It's like removing the chaff from the grains. Because by the time it gets to maybe for a public hearing, they may look at it that it's not a good bill. Especially some of these private bills. The ones that normally have free this thing, they are executive bill from Mr. President, because they are all maybe about appropriation, just like the one of national anthem that only one day. You
only
understand?
1 day, yes.
And they passed it.
Do you always form quorum from where?
No, you cannot always form quorum.
Okay.
Because one of the dilemma of this present 10th Senate is that they don't sit the time they are supposed to sit. If you look at what serves as a Bible in the Senate, is the Standing Order 2023 as amended. The Standing Order stipulates the time, the period Senate will sit. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays. Then there could be committee meetings and others. There could be public hearing other days. But the time, the period stipulated for sitting.
Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Yes. But the Standing Order also says 10 o'clock.
Okay.
But look at this present time now. Sometimes we by 11, 12, we have not even started.
You have not started.
So for you to, that one first is 40. It's 40, which I expect that as they have gone home and they are resuming for the second year, they should look at that time, because there is no time. You understand? Time must not be wasted.
Time must not be wasted.
Since we are operating, we want to imitate the democracy in the United States. I had the opportunity of witnessing their parliament when I went to US. I was in Washington, where I witnessed their sitting. Time is time.
Time is time.
So they should please address that matter, so that we'll be able to know whether they have formed quorum. And one issue again this year that we have just finished is why you cannot really say quorum or not is the place they were using when they came, when Akpabio-led Senate came, they were like squatting. Even the gallery, you cannot even take more than 10, you know. They are, so it is now that they have moved to their permanent place that have been renovated. So we'll now begin to look at the issue of forming a quorum or not. But that issue of resuming on time is very, very important.
Okay, I want you to compare the leadership of the current 10th Assembly, particularly Senate, and previous ones, particularly from David Mark era to Bukola Saraki's era, Ahmed Lawal's immediate past era, and the current one.
When you want to compare,
in terms of bills and robustness of debate.
If you want to also compare, you also have to look at the relationship between the executive and the legislature. If you look at during David Mark, he was there twice, and he had a very good relationship with Jonathan. And most of his bills were. The one that really had issue was Bukola Saraki. If you look at the circumstances in which he came in as Senate President,
yes,
it was like the party was not in support. So at the end of the day, he was having issues.
He was having issues.
He was having issues with most of the bills. Then if you also look at during his time, that was even when this matter of El-Rufai is coming up now. At least it was an achievement during his time then, when the 3 senators from Kaduna, Senator Hukuyi, Suleiman Hukuyi, Senator Dajumala, and Shehu Sani, refused approval for the loan that would have been approved by the local and foreign debt committee. But you also look at it that when Shehu Ubasani came in the 9th Senate with Suleiman Kwari from Kaduna North,
yes,
then Dajumala stayed from Kaduna South, because 2 numbers are more than 1. At the end of the day, because these are El-Rufai's boys, Suleiman Kwari was his commissioner for finance then Ubasani has been with him right from time immemorial. At the end of the day, they approved the loan. So it depends on who and who is there. Lawan's time, everything was passable from the president. That was why his time was tagged rubber stamp. Even though they have defended it severally, because we didn't really see anything that was rejected that period.
Many Nigerians have also tagged the current 10th Assembly as rubber stamp.
Let me just say, it's a continuation of the last, because it's the same party. It's a continuation.
Okay, it's predicated on because they are the majority.
They are the majority. And if you see, if Akpabio is not presiding, you know there are 2 presiding officers.
Yes.
If Akpabio is not presiding and it comes from that this bill must come from president and this, if Barau Jibri presides, it will go. So they don't want to have, because they have been saying it, that they will support the government. They will support the government in all its ramifications.
Yes.
So maybe that is why they want to be on the same page, so that things will be going smoothly. But how is it affecting the lives of Nigeria? That's also what we have to look at. Okay,
talking about lives of Nigerians, which of the assemblies would you say had the highest bills? And how have the bills affected the lives of Nigerians positively?
We can, you see, there are different bills. Some are for institutions. Some are for institutions. Like when Jonathan was there were universities he established as at that time. Where you have like Lokoja, federal universities, they were established. So these ones are, it depends on the bill. It depends on the bill. Like the one for January to December, budget cycle, is another good bill, because it will enable contractors to be paid, and contractors will go and work. Then the petroleum industry bill, which has also been passed.
Yes.
So it depends on how useful.
But Henry, do you agree that there are some bills that are sponsored for political exigency?
Yes. They are politicians, whether you like it or not. They bought form from their senatorial districts. And before you come from a senatorial district, you came from a village.
Yeah.
And before you came, before that, you're also from a local government. And if you look at 6 local governments make up a senatorial district. Like in my own Edo North, you have 6 local governments making up Edo North senatorial district. So if today the senator wakes up and decides to say, okay, he wants to put a university or teaching hospital, federal teaching hospital, through a bill in maybe Auchi or Yamu, you understand? Since there is already a university in that place, it can be political, it can to satisfy him. It's normal. They are politicians. But the issue is that as you look at your area, since you have 4 years, within that 4 years, you can scatter your projects around. It must not be only school. You can put another one in another place. Maybe look at another project you put in another place. You understand? Especially when it comes to that constituency project, when you have to put some projects. You know, you look at all the local governments that make up. Where people will not be happy is when you concentrate in your own local government, forgetting that 6 local governments or 7 will make up your senatorial district.
Now, Henry, you live within communities. You are also a Nigerian. You cover the National Assembly, particularly the Senate. You can feel the groanings of Nigerians. When you go back to cover there, you also, because you interact with them, you interview them, you watch the political events unfolding at the Senate, and you also feel the pulse of senators. When they take decisions to buy official vehicles that are, with humongous amounts of money, so to speak, and Nigerians are groaning and complaining, how do they react? What do they feel? What do you think they feel, and how do they react? Do they feel the pains of Nigerians?
Anyway, Maucauley, you said, how do they feel? I am not a psychologist to know how they feel. But me as a Nigerian, I'm also a Nigerian. I'm hungry.
Yes.
All of us are hungry. Everything is high. Gary that I bought in February 80,000, a small basin. It's not 30,000 in my village. So people are hungry.
Yeah.
You understand? You have a car that is worth 150 million. Yet you have some of your constituents that are hungry. The feeling will not be this. You will not be happy.
You will not be happy.
But they will always tell you that a minister has convoy.
A long convoy.
They have it. Them as a senator that were former this, former that, former this. They also deserve the right to have it because they use it to do their oversight functions. But I think the only thing that I will advise here is, instead of importing a car of 150 from outside, we can use Nigerian old-made vehicles that will give us at least maybe 30, 40, 25. Now they can go into arrangement with Innocent Motors instead of going from house and using 150 million, so that there will be enough money to take care of the constituents. I don't pray that it will get to a point that when they travel, people will start stoning them because people are hungry. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
You can't buy tomatoes now. People have turned to using cucumber as tomatoes, as a close substitute.
Now, you've mentioned earlier that we operate a bicameral legislature.
Yes.
There are agitations for, in the quest to cut the cost of governance in Nigeria. There are agitations for one of the arms to go between the Senate and House of Representatives. This question may sound hypothetical. If given the opportunity to advise, what would you say?
Okay, if given the opportunity, I will say they should remain.
Okay.
Because they are doing different jobs, almost similar jobs. You understand?
I do.
Just as I mentioned earlier, to do that, you have to amend the Constitution, because the Constitution has already stipulated the kind of job they should do.
They should do.
So if you now, on your own, scrap maybe Senate, the role of Senate cannot be carried by
the role of House of Representatives.
Yes. Just like the way I mentioned that the ministerial screening and all of them. But I know that 2 of them, they always invite. The only advice I will also give to reduce cost, they can do the budget defense together. Okay. It can be a joint defense. You invite Ministry of Communication to the House of Reps. Tomorrow the Senate will invite the same people. It's the same document. At least it can be done the same day. Maybe they use the Senate place or you use the House of Reps place to do it. It can also help reduce the cost of legislation.
Do you share the view by some people who are advocating part-time sitting arrangement for them, for legislators?
Is it because of the money?
Yes, because of the money. All in a bid to cut cost of governance. That's where the argument is.
You see, I may not have that say now to say it. The only thing I will advise is the 2014 conference, which I covered, dealt with a lot of issues. 600 resolutions.
600
resolutions were approved. And it is one of them that they used recently which is the national anthem. One of them, because one of the resolutions was that we should go back to the Nigeria Muhedi, which was sponsored by Michael Zekume's son. He sponsored it as a motion, and it was taken as a resolution. So if we have started implementing the true national anthem, we should implement some of this, because even what you're asking me now is there. Because elders, people like elder statesman like Chief Edwin Clark, who marked his 97 years last month, was a member. So I think those ones have this thing. And don't forget, I'm still a reporter.
Well, on that note, viewers, we're going to take a short break, and when we return, we'll continue with the conversation with Umoru in the studios. And we want to remind our viewers that our telephone lines are open. They can call so that they can participate to make the program conversational. But that'll be after the break. Please stay.
Okay.
This is your girl Nkechi Blessing Sunday. I want you all to keep watching KAFTAN TV.
Please keep watching KAFTAN TV. It is the best civil station in the country. They're doing an amazing job. Please do not touch the dial. Keep watching. Thank you.
My name is Sheilo BCFR, the Black Comedian of the Federal Republic. I tell you, when it comes to the best of entertainment, the best of news, the best of information, something that is educative, you're right here at the best place to see that. It's KAFTAN TV. You know what? Increase the volume. Keep watching. Don't touch the dial, okay?
This is your girl Nkechi Blessing Sunday. I want you all to keep watching KAFTAN TV.
Please keep watching KAFTAN TV. It is the best civil station in the country. They're doing an amazing job. Please do not touch the dial. Keep watching. Thank you.
My name is Sheilo BCFR, the Black Comedian of the Federal Republic.
Welcome back. My name is Maucauley Hunohashion, and you're still on to the POLITY. With me in the studio discussing 10th Assembly, the journey so far. In the last 1 year is Henry Umoru. Henry Umoru is assistant editor politics of Vanguard newspaper. Henry, before we went on the break, you're talking about part-time sitting. Now let me go straight to something that 35 legislators from House of Representatives have proposed. They made a proposition of 50 requirements for the creation of a rotational presidency of 6-year single term for president, with 2 deputy vice president 1 and vice president 2. And in that report, they did propose that the vice president 1 should come from the same zone with the elected president, and then the vice president 2 should also come from one of the 2 zones that president is not representing, for obvious reasons, in the event of anything that happens to Mr. President. What's your view on that? And that committee was led by Ugochinyere from Imo State. I know him.
Yes. These issues that they are raising now, I still insist we go back to that 2014 confab. This was part of the resolutions. It was one of the resolutions reached at the 2014 National Conference. So we should go back to it.
Okay.
I will advise the government, if they cannot implement everything, they should implement some of them, because there are very germane and very salient issues in that confab. I covered it from day 1 to the end. Okay. And I was part of it from day 1 to the end. I covered it.
I think that call is predicated on passive marginalization.
Yes, because if you look at, okay, the states are not even equal.
They're not equal.
Southeast is not having up to the same like every other state. Northwest is higher than Southwest. Southeast. Southwest is higher than Southeast. That, just as you said, that may explain why Ugochinyere, who is from Imo State, you understand,
he's leading that campaign
from Idiato federal constituency, why he's pushing for that. We should balance the situation. There should be another state to come from Southeast, so that this marginalization will not be seen as if we have not forgiven a particular area because of the Nigeria civil war. You get what I'm saying?
I'm getting your point.
Then if you look at Kano State, look at how many local governments.
44.
44. That was the local governments that they were having when Jigawa was with it.
Yes.
Jigawa has been carved, yet it's still having such.
44.
Then when they come to the House of Reps, what do you think they will have? They will have higher voices.
All right.
That is why when you said about maybe unicameral, you cannot do that in the Senate. There must be 3. Even Bayelsa, that is not as big as Kano, that with local governments, it has 3 senators. The only area that has 1 is FCT. You understand?
Yes.
It's only FCT that has 1 senator. If you look at all the 36 states, they have 3 senators each. So that is equality. So if you are talking about removing 1, you can see where the difference will still come in. Because if they are to vote in the House of Reps now, you will see that Kano people will just stand alone and see and go, compared to Imo. So they should create a state. A state. It may not come from Imo.
Okay.
It can come from it can come from Enugu or come from Anambra. But just what Ugochinyere raised, he removed them. There are different parts of meat.
Yes.
From Imo, from Owe, all of them will benefit. I think let them create 1 state from southeast, so that equilibrium, equality will be seen. You understand?
Yes, I do.
That is it.
What about the 6-year single term, rotational 6-year single term?
It's okay, but you are there for 6 years. I'm sure they will not be able to do much. They want to pack money. Corruption will really increase. Look at 8 years now, for 4 years. Are we getting it right? Then when you now say 6 years, if you are not doing it as president, your subordinates, your ministers will help you to pack, because they know that after 6 years, they are not coming again.
Yeah.
Anyway, if that is what every Nigerian will say, that it will be okay, let's see, as they are still amending the constitution, let's see whether this time around we'll get it right to amend the constitution. Because every year we keep amending in the Senate and Reps. So let's see how it goes.
There are various arguments with varying voices on the call for change of pattern of governance in Nigeria. Presently, we are operating the presidential system of government. Many Nigerians are agitating for us to go back to regionalism. Others are saying, let's try the parliamentary system that we have practiced in the past. Now, and I've heard other arguments that it is not really the system that matters, but operators of the system.
Yeah.
So whatever kind of system you bring, so long as our psyche remains, our mindset remains the way it is as Nigerians, we will not get anywhere. What do you think?
My own is, we should build on institutions.
Okay.
Institutions should be built, not around.
Hold on, let's take this caller. Hello, good afternoon. You're on to the POLITY on KAFTAN TV studios in Abuja live.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, you're welcome. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Thank you. My name is Yayanta from Bida.
From Bida, you've called before. Thank you. You're a regular caller.
I always love to watch your
Yes,
program.
Yayanta, thank you so much for being there, because you've been a regular caller. Please make your contributions.
The only what tempts me to call now is this issue of what is it called? 6 year,
6 year single term. Yeah.
Yes. What I'm interested in there to heart, because I'm in support of that single tenure.
Okay.
But just as your guest has put it, corruption will come in if it is they leave it as that as one single tenure, a 6 year.
Okay.
But what I would like those that move for the motion to add as an ingredient to the success of that motion is they should what's it called? Remove this immunity. On the immunity on the president and the governor. If that is removed, we'll get it right.
Okay.
Because all this corruption, they will they will be fearing that they will have fear that if they do anything contrary to the law, they will get they will deal with them, since there's nothing that is protecting them on power as just as that immunity. And I give a case of this man, Yaya Bello. Look at the way he robbed the Kogi, and he was he cannot be touched until when he left the government. And see what is happening now. He just run away and leave them with the debt. So if that immunity is removed, we'll get it right once again in Nigeria.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ayanda from Bidda. Thanks for calling. Ayanda is worried that immunity clause protects corruption.
I agree with him. You must not wait until you finish your 4 years as governor before there can be check and balance. Because they always feel that since I am in government and I cannot be taken to court, I cannot be asked to account for this or that, then at the end of the day, so the community, the entire state can be surcharged.
Okay.
So I agree with him that immunity clause should be expunged from it.
From the president to the vice president, governors.
The issue to the governors.
Well, you know, it's a constitutional matter.
Yes, it's to the governors in particular.
It's a constitutional matter.
Yes.
You think they have the latitude to do that?
No. That was why I said we look at the 2014
confab.
Then it will go to the National Assembly. Yes, there are sometimes there referendum.
Okay.
When a Midwestern region moved away from Western region, it was through a referendum. So.
Are we okay with the presidential system we are operating?
No, as you have said, it's also very expensive. I don't know whether one day you have passed through Airport Road when Mr. President is traveling. The vehicles that follow him there.
Presidential movement.
Is movement. You will see the distance. I just pity somebody who is not trying to deliver, trying to go to the hospital to deliver, or somebody who, I don't know, emergency situation. So it will also cost, it will cut costs. Look at when we were having parliamentary then regionalism is what I may not really settle for, because what will you do with the states? We have 36 states at the moment. If you now go for regional, where will you put the states?
There are arguments that states should be creative so that they can be viable. All states can be viable.
Yes. One thing I always want to ask, I always say at the Nigeria Governors Forum, is that this peer review mechanism should be there. There should be peer review mechanism. Let Governor of Oyo go to his neighbor Osun and see what Osun is doing. Then you can replicate same. You check yourselves, checks and balances. It's not a crime. You can go and learn from Edo State.
Henry, you know that peer review has collapsed at the continental level.
Yes.
Why is it so?
No, it's because there is no follow-up.
There's no follow-up.
It used to be there in the Governors Forum.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, it died. So it's because of there is no continuity. Because if you are being checked, like I remember vividly, there was a time I read how the Edo State governor then, Lucky Gbenedio, went to Kogi to ask Abubakar Audu how he was doing this. At the end of the day, he came to Edo to replicate some. So there should be that peer review. Go around, check the order.
So you think, what about local government autonomy?
It's long overdue.
Long overdue.
It's long overdue because local government, if you go there, they are almost dead. The time you will see them busy in the office when that money has come for that month, there is nothing they are doing. Local governments are not doing much. Highest, they may just add to the building of a secretariat that is at the secretariat, the headquarters, because there is no money for them. So the governors should remove this thing. Though the matter is in court, the federal government has taken the state governors to court. So I may not be able to delve more on it because it's sub judice.
Okay, it is sub judice. Let's talk about the funds that eventually may accrue to local government. Some people are saying if local governments becomes so powerful, they may end up acting like state governors because of the security votes they will be getting, because security situation is at the grassroots level.
They will not. Government is at the grassroots. Whoever is the president today came from a unit.
Yes.
It doesn't go to the governor, the senator here cannot stay in Abuja and vote except the senator who is representing FCT. First, you have to go to the unit before you now talk of ward. From ward, you go to local government. So the government is with the people. The local government people are with the people. They feel the pulse. They know what the people are feeling. They are supposed to. And it is like, let me give you an example of my local government.
Okay.
My present chairman of the local government, the new chairman, he will know Akoko Edo more than even the governor.
Yeah.
He will know Akoko Edo more than even the three aspirants now.
Absolutely.
He will know them more than Ibodalo, more than Aswen, Akpebolo, and Akpata.
Because he lives with them.
He lives with them. Forget the fact that he stays in Igara. He knows Sasaro, he knows Ewa, he knows Ikpeshi, he knows Akuku. If you give him money, he will know the area that does not have a health facility. So they will not be like semi-god.
Okay.
They should be empowered. There should be autonomy for the local government so that all those health facilities, they are gone. They are no longer there in all the villages. My village used to have, my town, because my town used to be a village, it's now a city. You understand? They should have them there. Local governments they should be empowered so that it will be less work for the state governor. Once the local government, the wards are doing well, the units are doing well. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
Like now, if you give the local government chairman money, like my own, it develops a road from Egbigere to Ate. You don't need to go through Iyuku to go to Ate, to go to Egbigere. Somebody who is from Esako West is now passing, is now going to Ward 8 at Ate, back to Ward 8 at Egbigere. The local government chairman knows what to do if he has money. He knows how to do more of IGRO by opening more markets. You get what I'm saying? So they are not going to behave like semi-gods. Let the government empower the local governments and see whether we will not have what we call democracy.
And it will be competitive.
Yes, it will.
Yes.
It will. Because if money is given to them and you are not, the governor is not touching the money, it is even the governor will even have the power to say, okay, what is happening? He will now go to Akoko Edo. He say, Akoko Edo, you are having the same money with Esako West chairman.
Why are
you not doing the same? Then if Esako West is doing more than Esako Central, they will now ask, what is happening? Then he will go to Esako East. So there will be still what I mean by peer review.
Peer review.
You understand?
Yes.
So these are the issues.
Now, if you remember, Henry, former chairman of EFCC, Farida Waziri, advocated for mental evaluation of emerging leaders, those who want to throw their hearts in the race for elective offices. And then Shegun Adeni, our friend, prolific writer, present chairman of the editorial board of this day newspaper, wrote a book after President Jonathan conceded defeat, where he said aspiring leaders should subject themselves to scrutiny, for people to know their elocution, knowledge of the world, understanding of the system. Do you share that same view?
You should understand. You should know your people. You should know the system. You cannot come in and say you want to be governor of a state. You don't even know the local government. You don't know whether there is even a town existing. Maybe they ask you as governor. They will ask you, where is this town? You will be maybe a town that is supposed to be in Edo North. You are saying it's in Edo Central. You have to be conversant with issues.
It's only Edo you are talking about because you are from there.
No, because I cannot lie, because I understand. Okay, let me go to Kaduna now.
Okay, yeah, we used to be there together.
So the issue is that you want to be governor of Kaduna State. You don't know much about Kafancha. You don't know about Zago Kataf.
Yes.
You don't know Marwa. Or you don't even know Zaria. You don't know Mekarifi. You understand?
Yeah, I do.
You have to be conversant. You have to know the areas. You should know their feelings, know their problems. You fly in from the US, maybe you have all this phone, because you have phone, you come, you talk. it's not enough.
It's not about phone.
It's not about phone. You have to understand the people, what the people want. Live with them, eat with them. You understand?
Yes.
Wine with them. It will help.
I've also heard someone say there must be a clearinghouse. If you want to contest and then you line up, contestants for them to face a panel, that panel should constitute a clearinghouse. Then this one also may sound hypothetical. If given the opportunity, what kind of clearinghouse would you want to constitute?
The clearinghouse that will be sincere, not godfatherism.
Okay, not godfatherism.
We should do away with godfatherism. We have been seeing what is happening. Where godfatherism has been, it doesn't, you can see that governance is slow. So the clearinghouse should be a genuine clearinghouse with men of integrity from the labor, from teachers, from the marketers, market women, student union, not those political godfathers who will tell you this is what we are going to get, you give us at the end of the year. By the time you become governor, taxing you already. And when they make you, if a godfather makes you a governor, in the next 6 months or 7 months, you inherit all his commissioners. And when you now say no, maybe you want to change your position small, there is crisis. There should be a genuine clearinghouse so that the polity will be sweet, so that the people will enjoy. Because if these big men, these politicians are fighting, the people suffer. You understand?
Yes, I do.
The people suffer.
So
we have seen it.
Talking about godfatherism, I think the concept is hitting a brick wall, taking a natural course. And what comes to mind is Rivers State and Kaduna State in recent times. Don't you think so?
Godfatherism has been there.
It has been there.
Whoever thought that Kwakwaso and Ganduje will ever fight? Ganduje was, I don't know how to describe. He was very close to Kwakwaso.
Yes.
Became whatever. Amechi Odili. Wike Amechi. You get what I'm saying?
Wike Fubara.
Wike Fubara.
Then Sani
El-Rufai. Whoever thought with your own imagination, you have lived in Kaduna.
Yeah, yes.
You have known El-Rufai.
Yes.
Ubasani and El-Rufai, I'm sure they were eating from the same plate. They have done it.
Like Siamese twins.
They were very close. Even up to the fact that Shehu Sani could not come to the Senate because he wanted Ubasani. And even when he came to the Senate, his son Bello was his SLA. Bello, El-Rufai's son was his SLA, who is now in the House of Reps. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
So this godfatherism, I'm happy, but do it well. Not that when people are pushing you, you want to fight your person who ensure that you become what you are.
Okay.
Because you will also be a former. Once you get to your office, check the pictures that are there. The man should check all the pictures. If he goes to Kashim Ibrahim house, he should check all the pictures of those who have been there. That his own will also be there. Okay. So do things genuinely and let the House of Assembly do it properly. They should not be used as maybe a pipe to cause trouble for another person. Whatever they have the right to investigate. They have everything. But the question is, this loan, like Kaduna now, was taken before this present administration. Are you going to what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
The House of Assembly, it was already there. You can. They may say some of them are new. What of the old ones? Why didn't they do oversight? Now that they are raising issues, why didn't the former House of Assembly members carry out their oversight function? The loan you collected, how much have you got done so far? How much is the loan? What have you done with it so far? So that it will not be seen as if a godson is fighting a godfather.
Exactly.
So I think Maucauley, when we look at some of these things.
I think, Henry, as we went down, let's dovetail into internal democracy because time is almost, we're running out of time. Let's dovetail into internal democracy. I'm asking this against the backdrop of the not too young to run bill, because there is a state that has concluded arrangements to elect local government chairmen and councillors. And the ruling party in that state is selling forms, nomination forms for 10 million naira. Don't you think some people that have the capacity, have the knowledge, have the empathy, have the will of the people at heart, but lack financial muscle will be disenfranchised?
It's like that. That is one worrisome issue, where if you don't have money, PDP will say, if you want to be governor, this is how much you will pay. Where will you get that more money from? It's not just buying form. What if you become, even before you become a candidate of the party, you are just an aspirant, you have bought form. What of to print posters? What of to travel around, to meet stakeholders? You spend money. So they should, the cost of election should be reduced. And just as you said, local government now, it's not just, if you buy and you're in the opposition party, no matter what, you may even be on the queue. They will tell you the ruling party in the state has won all the seats.
In fact, the opposition party says they are not participating.
Yes, that is the truth. Because except we go back to see 2040 confab, let the federal INEC conduct state local government elections. Because the state INECs are tied to the apron string of their governors. The governor dictates, just like even House of Assembly, we're just talking, just like what I said about Kaduna. Once you are there as governor, it is you are, as a House of Assembly member, you are in the armpit of the governor. You get what I'm saying? Anything fear.
Everything is at your whims and caprices.
Yes. So the state INEC should not conduct local government elections if we want to have eternal democracy. So that, as we said about local government, it's not just having autonomy. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Autonomy is there for finance, for everything. Then the state governor will be the one to pick the person, the chairman. You get what chairmanship candidate. The state governor will also determine who will be the councillor. What does he know about Ward 8 or Ward 1 or Ward 2 or 3? That he will not be the one to go and choose a councillor for a particular ward. That is not eternal democracy.
Okay.
So all these things should be eliminated.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, that's the size of our package today on the POLITY. On behalf of our, we hope you enjoyed every moment of it. On behalf of our producer, Ruben Okala, and the entire production team that made the program possible, I would like to thank our caller from Bida Yayanda, as well as our guest in the studio, Henry Umoru, for finding out time to come and participate. Thank you so very much, Henry.
Maucauley,
See you next time. Yes. Well, on that note, my name is Maucauley Hunohashion. Let's call it a day until we meet next time. For me, it's bye-bye.
Thank you.